Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2021 Netflix Italian film, sequel film, Still Out of My League. So, our main three are back. Marta as the frustratingly annoying protagonist, main character that she is. Her two best friends, Frederica and Jacopo. It's just fun having them yell their names at each other. Like, his name is spelled Jacopo. Po. Jacopo. Jacopo. But it's the ja sound, Jacopo. It's just funny. It's funny hearing it in a different language because that's how you're supposed to say it. And when you grow up speaking a different language, you can't pronounce certain things the way they're supposed to be. So sometimes you got to mimic how you hear it, and them shouting constantly Jacopo. It's funny. It's amusing that's how I learned how to say his name. So Marta and Arturo, right, were together at the end of the first film, and then this premise is that they broke up, and it's still mind buggingly frustrating, even though this new main guy Gabriel is awesome. He holds no candle to Arturo because Arturo, first and foremost, why in the hell were his friends in this film? Why was Vittorio and Giacomo? Why was Giacomo another secondary character added to this, who's now dating Frederica's cousin Rebecca? You gotta say the words, right? In this particular thing, Rebecca the influencer is dating Giacomo, like, throughout this entire thing, and it was a whole Beauty and the Beast subplot, and she was embarrassed of him, and he didn't care because a girl liked him, and like he's just been treated so poorly throughout the first and second film, and then she stands up for him and making the public announcement that she's in love with him, and the hell with everybody else. I don't get, and they even say, Frederica and Jacopo even say, like, why are we still friends with Arturo's friends? Why is Vittorio still coming to our parties when you're not dating Arturo anymore? It makes no sense. Makes no sense because Vittorio is just an awful human. Makes no sense. So it's explained. Marta, does this voiceover where in the end we were just different people and it was just physical, and I found Gabrielle in the park because he's an artist and he was drawing her picture as she walked by each day, and she saw it and they fell for each other. But she doesn't say I love you to him. She specifically says I love you to Arturo at the end, and they have that marriage, which is clearly a fantasy. But it's just so weird for the character development to then just go kersplat, dead, with in regards to Arturo's character. He has that whole I said how amazing the character development was. Him crying to his mom in the garden, him showing all that vulnerability of the masculine side, but not afraid to show tears because he was upset. He was upset that the girl he loves is dying. Right? That's what it is. She needs new lungs. Eventually, at the end of this, it's the surgery to get the new lungs, and then a to be continued. So the third film is, I looked it up. They filmed the second and third film within 3 months, because the third film is then the conclusion of this story, which nobody asked for. No one asked for. But I'm so invested because I need to know what happens next. And then that's it. And I'm never watching them again. But there's so many other subplots within this particular film, aside from just leaving Arturo high and dry, and his speech of, relationships get messy, sometimes we fight, but in the end, you love each other. And that conversation they have in the club's dining hall, where the two of them are talking and crying to each other after she tells him that she's sick. How does she leave him? I don't get it. I don't get it. She's nothing special. She's a selfish brat, and it's infuriating throughout I was going to say throughout the show, because it genuinely feels like you're watching a TV show. There's a lot of subplots within this second film that it feels like episodes being divulged into other characters. This is long. This is about 2 hours, this film. So it's interesting watching this now as a sequel perspective, because the story is garnering more influence, right? Gabriel is now in Paris doing work, and he's jealous because of the long distance relationship, and there's this new delivery guy named Tommaso, who's incredible, who Jacopo has a crush on, but Marta's now trying to figure out if Tommaso's gay or if he's not gay. So that was a whole thing. Hysterical. Jacopo eventually saying, eventually meeting up with Tommaso at the end, after they all go to karaoke and all these, the same karaoke bar that Arturo sang at, and then you got Tommaso belting opera into the crowd, which was incredible. So having then Tommaso wanted to meet up with Jacopo to say goodbye because he's going back to his hometown because he misses his friends and stuff, and hanging out with all of them and their friends made him realize how much he missed home, so he's going to leave. And then Tommaso is just kissed by Jacopo with the look of surprise on his face, but doesn't move, and he's like questioning his entire life with this Tommaso kiss, with this Jacopo kiss. Hysterical. Loved it. That was a wonderful subplot. Having the jealous Gabrielle because Marta is clearly lying to him that she's going out with Tommaso this and doing things with Tommaso that. Of course he's going to get jealous. What the hell do you think is going to happen when he catches you in a lie? Idiot! Aside from that, having the Frederica's character getting hired by this slimy guy and taking him down corporate wise, that was a nice beautiful reveal. That was another beautiful subplot. This sequel had so many cool subplots, and Giacomo getting his just desserts in regards to having someone finally appreciate him publicly for who he is, that he's a great guy, doesn't have to change, has no fashion sense, and it's just a wonderful thing to see that he's finally being appreciated for who he is, despite being treated like absolute garbage the first movie and a half, right? We'll see what happens next. But I just still don't understand why bring Gabrielle into this as a character, aside from that division of will they, won't they, in regards to he's now in Paris, she's still in Turin, which is northern Italy, kind of by the border of France. But still, Paris is, I think they just did what they say, it was a 7-hour, 45-minute car drive from where Gabrielle was to where the hospital was that Marta is going to be getting her new lungs, and that's how we leave off. She's getting her new lungs, but Gabrielle happens to get his phone broken and goes to the wrong hospital. What happens next? Does she survive? Obviously, she survives. There's a sequel. But I don't like Marta's character. She's selfish. She's frustrating. She is not a likable person. I do appreciate the little scare speech she gives right before the surgery of crying and saying, why me? It's not fair. My parents gave me this disease, blah, 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 blah. But she's still an awful person to other people, and I'm not a fan of that at all. So it's very interesting because when you're watching a show, when you're watching a TV show, right, you got episodes, you got seasons, you got stuff, right? When you're watching an ensemble show, you pick characters who you like the stories for, and there's other characters who annoy you. I've never seen a film where the main character is absolute straight trash, an absolutely horrible character. Pause. Time out. The actress playing this horrible character is clearly not that horrible person. The actress is an incredibly talented individual, and I believe everything she's portraying. She's incredibly talented, well beyond many people, because of how much I hate her character. That's very hard to do, to make somebody absolutely disdain your existence by seeing it on the screen, just from sheer fact of she's doing her job correctly. Absolutely incredible talent. This particular actress is, whose name I don't know. So for her to do her job correctly, it's to make me hate her. She's doing a great job. I don't know if that's the actual point, but I can't stand this character. This character is awful. She's so selfish, and she's awful, and I don't know why Gabrielle is running back to her. May him live his life in Paris happily, so there better be a great conclusion at the end of this, because I'm concerned for what happens to Gabrielle, because now he's an incredible character that's introduced, and what is she going to do at the very end of the third movie, maybe? Dump him? For who? Maybe her and Frederica are going to get together finally. Who knows? I'm curious because of how much I love the secondary characters. I hate the main character. This is her story. I hate the main character, but all of the other characters' stories are so awesome, and I love it, and it's wonderful. I wish all the best for Giacomo. I wish all the best for Jacopo and Federica, and long live Arturo, and the hell with Vittorio, and on to the next review. Mucho mahalo.